why you brought in the feasts and all into this subject.
The reason that I did that, Jim, is because Jesus set a precedent in his first coming. He fulfilled the spring feasts as Donna and Allie. And by the way, maybe the audience that might not know these two young women are starting to understand why I often refer to them as my secret weapon. I unleashed them on this subject matter. I gave them the great challenge. Show me how Jesus fulfilled the spring feast at his first coming, because that then sets the precedent that he will fulfill the fall feast at his second coming. And once again, all three of those feasts, Pentecost, the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Tabernacles, are all in the year 2025, exactly 3.5 years before the arrival of Apophis. So it's one of the reasons I argue that it's more likely than not that 2025 represents the beginning of the tribulation period. I also cited science reports a moment ago. I cited the book, The Fourth Turning. Here's one more, because I know we're out of time. 2,200 years ago, 200 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, the Essenes, who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls in Qumran, they were the most accurate prophets in all of history. Here's just an example. They prophesied 200 years before the birth of Jesus that a man named Herod would become king and then he would turn bad, that the Messiah would arrive exactly when Jesus did, that the Messiah would raise the dead, which is an idea that's not even found in the Old Testament, that the Messiah would die in 32 AD, which is exactly when Jesus did die, that the Messiah would also die for the Gentiles' redemption, which is not something the scribes and Pharisees even foresaw. The Messiah would begin what they called an age of grace. Furthermore, following his ascension, a Benjamite would explain everything to the Gentiles, and his knowledge would be in the synagogue of the Gentiles, which is obviously the Apostle Paul. That list goes on and on. These people were mind-blowingly accurate. Why does that matter? Because they also prophesied something else, that mankind will enter its final jubilee in the year 2025. They prophesied that 2,200 years ago, and we do cite a lot of their research in this book and another book that's coming soon.